So yeah, I've been wondering whether or not to make this video. Purely because I know that the narrative out there right now is anybody that speaks out about what the fuck is going on is automatically a far-right, racist, fascist. But like, things are getting completely out of hand now, and after what happened this morning, I can't keep my mouth shut. I just can't. It's absolutely fucking disgusting what's going on, and my head is fucking wrecked over it, because every fucking day, especially in the middle of Dublin City, things are just getting worse with all the gangs and the people that really shouldn't fucking be here at all. The behaviour out of them is it's just too much to handle, and I'm sick of being called a fucking racist for this. I'm sick of being called a racist for the experiences that I have, and that other people are having. It's got nothing to do with race. It's got absolutely nothing got to do with race whatsoever. It's everything got to do with behaviour. It's got everything got to do with culture. And at this point, it's about keeping people safe and making sure that, God forbid, this doesn't go where I think it's going. And so this is why I'm speaking out about it. This morning, at exactly 9:15, I hopped on the Luas at the museum. I was going to Connolly to get the train out to Portmarnock. A friend of mine's father passed away, God love him, and so yeah, get on the Luas, and 2 stops up at the forecourts, the fella jumps on. Let's just say he wasn't Irish, same colour skin as all the rest of us, so again, anyone starts pointing out that, oh, you wouldn't be saying this about an Irish fucker. Well, I've met the craziest Irish fuckers you can imagine, and I have never, ever, ever had one of them behave like this in public. This fella gets on anyway, and he's fucking roaring and shouting to himself, and from what I could see, he's clearly on something. What, I don't know, but God only knows. He's screaming and shouting as he gets on, and of course he steps on right beside me, and I have my 15-month-old son in the pram, and straight away I'm like, oh, here we go. He starts screaming and shouting we were pretty much up the top of the Luas. Everybody to the left of him starts screaming at them about how they're all backwards paddies, and every time he gets on the fucking Luas, that when he's too warm and he wants the windows open, nobody will open the windows for him, and when he's too cold, nobody will close them, etc, etc. And he turns around to my son, and he gets about 2 inches from his face, and again, look, he had an Eastern European accent. I don't know whereabouts he's from, but starts asking him, did your mammy feed you today? Do you need a new mammy? Has your mammy fed you today? And I said to him, pal, listen, I said, not today. Not today. I said, don't go near him. And that's all I said. And next thing, he starts telling me that I'm strung out on crystal meth, which I think is very funny because of all the drugs I've ever tried. Crystal meth was not one of them. He starts saying that I'm strung out on crystal meth, and that was his purpose in coming to Ireland, was to get women like me hooked on crystal meth. I kind of laughed at him, and I was like, yeah, you know, I'm the one on crystal meth, yeah. And he's like, oh, you think it's funny, do you? He goes, I will leave your child motherless, he says. And that's kind of when things started taking a turn. you know, I'm pretty well able to handle myself. I would, yeah, definitely say that I'm pretty well able to handle myself. And at this point, I was just looking at him, and in my head, I'm kind of going, right, this is not good. He then goes on to tell me that he has a lot of connections over Dublin, that he came here a few months ago to be taken in and welcomed by Ireland, to be looked after by us, he said. He did not come here to be spoken down to by a junky, crystal meth strung out whore. And then says that he would get all his connections together. He was going to come back. He's going to strangle me. He's going to rape me. And after he's done that, he's going to take my child and do the same to my child. Now, of course, the kind of middle upper class were all around the Lewis and weren't really too helpful, to be honest. A lot of the men looked the other way, you know, didn't really want to get involved as such. Thank God he got off at Jervis, still screaming and shouting about how I was going to be strangled and raped, which, yeah, again, I've dealt with some pretty hardcore Irish fuckers and scumbags over the years, and I've never ever come across anything like that in my fucking life, ever. The entire, again, it was only 2 stops. It really was only a couple of minutes that this went on for. The entire time, the whole thing that was going through my head was, this fella is 100% capable of doing what he's saying he is going to do right now. And if it happens right now, I'm gonna have to make a choice between letting him hurt me or making sure I hurt him. Now, one of the main problems that women have in Ireland is we're not even allowed to carry a thing of mace, you know. Never mind anything, you know, something that can actually save us in a situation like that. I suppose, look, I am very grateful that everything turned out all right. I am very, very grateful that he was obviously so off his head he didn't even think to. I'm convinced he had something on him, just the way he was going on. I would imagine he had a knife somewhere in his bag, somewhere in his pocket. Can't say that for sure, I didn't see anything, but look, I've been in enough of these situations to know that people like that don't go around with nothing on them. And at any moment he could have snapped and he could have decided that today was the day to do something. Now the whole thing is, if I was to fight back in any way, God knows it would be me that would end up in trouble. Yeah, look, the moral of the story is I don't want fucking cunts like this living anywhere near me. I don't want cunts like this coming into my fucking country and being near my son. And I don't want them anywhere near your children either. I don't want them anywhere near you. I don't want them anywhere near your children. I don't want them anywhere near my children. And when the fuck are we going to stop being called racists? Racist, far-right, fascist fucks. Like, when the fuck is that going to stop? I'm after just watching a video of a poor young girl on Sean McDermott Street being attacked in broad daylight with a young secondary school fella stopping to try and help her. She's being attacked by a fucking man. The reports are saying, the people online are saying that, again, the fella wasn't Irish. I don't know. Regardless, at the end of the day, there are people coming into this country that should never, ever, ever, ever be allowed anywhere near any of us. And yet here they are. They're literally waiting on the Lewis for you there in the morning. They're waiting for your young daughter when she's walking around in broad daylight. You know, they're waiting for women outside the Kappa hospital to attack them. They're waiting for women outside the Drimna Lewis stop. But we're all far right, racist, fascist for kind of going, hang on a second, like, you know, this isn't normal. I just want to know what the fuck is going to be done about it, because somebody is going to end up getting killed. 100%. Somebody is going to end up getting killed. And the stuff that's already happened is horrific enough to change those people's lives forever. And we're still going to kind of ignore the fact that, you know, it's people that really shouldn't be here that's carrying out these attacks, and we're going to call anybody that brings up this fact an absolute racist. I'm not having it anymore. I want to know what the fuck is going to be done to make sure that it's alright to walk down the street and not have a feeling in your gut that somebody can turn around at any moment and do the most horrific things to a woman, to a child, or even to another man. You know, I just want to know what's going to be done about it. You know, they're after arresting 20, what do they call them, far right agitators, and I'm sick of it. I really am. I'm sick of it. Those people are not far right. Those people are standing up for the likes of me, and yeah, now what?